Hi, I'm Willow, welcome to Juno's Cottage, or welcome back to Juno's Cottage. And in this video, I will show you how I made this top out of an old ugly dress. I am an amateur needler? Seamstress? But I'm a novice and I made this top. First top I've ever made, and it's the first piece of clothing I've made from scratch. Previously I have adjusted clothes to fit me and my style better, but I've never taken fabric, cut it out and turned it into a completely different colour.
So the first thing I did was collect all my ingredients. Then what I essentially did was rip up all of the seams to get all of my separate pieces of fabric to see how much I had to work with and to cut my new top out of. Once I had all my fabric laid out, I then had to come up with what I actually wanted to make. The top I decided I wanted to make was a very simple one, no sleeves, because I'm scared of making sleeves, they seem very hard and scary. Was to do basically a little strappy, almost like 60s inspired halter neck top. And now enters the real main character of this saga. I really believed that I was going to have to do this top by myself, hand sewing it, because this was the only sewing machine we had, which belonged to Ricky's great-grandmother, I believe. Meaning it's a Soviet-era sewing machine, and therefore something that was very hard to find information about, really. So me and Ricky were desperately scouring the web for YouTube tutorials on this type of sewing machine. Obviously we didn't even know what type of sewing machine it was, so that made it all the harder. We were trying to figure out how the bobbin worked. I've never used a sewing machine, you know, like I said, I'm a novice. This whole thing was scary, and we just really didn't think we were going to be able to get anything to work. That was until our elderly neighbour came over, who was completely acquainted with this kind of machinery, and basically showed us up. She got it working in a matter of minutes, and honestly, respect your elders, kids, because you never know when you're going to find a piece of old machinery that you need to work. Now armed with a sewing machine, I was able to forge right through this project. Once I took my measurements, I took those measurements with an inch seam allowance because I don't trust myself with half an inch, so I gave myself more room to work with. You can always take in, much harder to take out again, and I cut my pieces and pinned them into shape. And I got to hemming them on my lovely new sewing machine. I actually really enjoy this sewing machine because its limitations are basically my own physical limitations with how fast I want to take it. So it's very good for novices like me because its speeds is just how fast I can crank the thing or how slow I want to crank the thing. And in case you think I'm lying for some reason about never having used a sewing machine before, watch this footage, watch me actually struggling to sew.
Okay, so as for this top, right, I'm putting pleats so that this fabric can get wide and cover my chest, but still not take up the entire waistband. So as you can see, I've made the 3 pleats here, very nice, but on this side, it isn't pleating. I am struggling so hard, I just want to give up. But I'm going to try not to give up at this stage, but this is where we're at. This side's a bit longer because I've decided to make buttons on this, but we will see. I finally managed to get this side pleated. It's still not even as this one, which leads me to believe that this side is shorter than this side, but whatever, we will see what happens. Yeah.
So here I am, incredibly focused in on trying to, my face looks so disgusted. Why is that what I look like when I'm focusing? This is me attempting to stitch the pleats to the waistband. I say attempted because it worked. They did attach. I'm a winner. And I would be including the nice, calming and comforting sound that the sewing machine gives. Except for the fact I was watching an incredibly loud Netflix show while sewing this.
Okay, so this is where I'm at with the top. I have the straps, which will eventually go around me, and now I have this, which obviously I'll fold it over at the top here. It won't be bunched like it is right now. So now I need to figure out how to make the back straps. I was gonna do a crisscross pattern, but then I realized if I do that, I won't be able to get it on. So I was thinking of maybe just ditching that and making this just like a halter top, and I may make it join behind my neck. But in my every experience with halter tops, it has hurt my neck infinitely because I have a large chest, so it weighs down on it. It hurts, basically. So now I just have to figure out the length of straps I need, cut those out, hem them, sew them, and then I'm going to be adding buttons.
And here I am showing off my back straps. And here they are now. I've stitched them up all nicely. Here's the entire plan, basically, as well. And now here is all the parts sewn together on my body. Now it's a matter of connecting everything, but this is the first time I saw what my finished product would look like. So now I had to choose which buttons to use, and I asked the people who follow me on Instagram for some help because I couldn't decide. But yeah, those are the options I went with, and you'll see which one I eventually actually chose.
Okay, so here I am again. I had another think about it, and and here it is with them crisscrossed in the back. Now, this was my original plan, was the crisscross, but I decided not to go with it because I thought it would make this too difficult to get on and off. But it's not. It's fine. It's on and off. Also holds the structure of this whole front part excellently, and it doesn't put the weight on my neck. It gives the effect of a halter top in a better way than with the straps, and it takes the weight. There's no weight on my neck right now. So yeah, I've got to decide before I attach them, because once they're attached, that's it. I can't. No backsies. So I attached the buttons. Okay, so oh my god, I'm so excited. It's basically done. Okay, all I need to do is finish up the buttonholes, and then it's done. When it's done, we'll go do a little photo shoot in the garden or whatever. But yeah, it's done. So what we're thinking, very simple, okay? As for critiques I've got for it, I definitely gave myself a little bit too much fabric. I definitely think, as for the chest holders, as for the chest, I overestimated how much fabric I needed, but that is way better than underestimating, because I can always come back at a later date when I'm more skilled and take it in, fix it up a bit. But it's my first ever top that I've made from scratch, because I've edited existing pieces of clothing like that. That's obviously not the right word for it, but I've cropped tops and I've hemmed skirts to make them shorter, and also I probably could have given myself a bit more straps. I kind of did it to myself, changing back to the idea of having crisscross straps. It ended up not giving me as much fabric as I needed, so that is just me being like, I should have given myself more to work with. I didn't, to know for next time, right?
So yeah, this is a story all about how I made my very first top. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Yes, I am talking over footage of myself talking, absolutely not attempting to lip sync at all, because I went on off on a tangent on this outro footage, like I'm doing right now. So here is me voiceovering it. Like, comment, subscribe. Have you made your own clothes before? Any advice for me next time making my clothes? Do you know anything about that sewing machine I own? Yeah, see you next time.